Hi. Why did Aquaman cross the road? To get to the other tide? Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. I'm your host, Magic Lasso. So great to be with you, and I hope that you had a great week. Here we are wrapping up another weekend. On behalf of Comic Food 2814, excused absence. On behalf of Timm the Comic Collector, who knows where he's been these days, although I did see him do a live stream the other day. I actually popped into that and stationed him for a minute. It would be nice if he would come back some week, if his schedule would allow. Tim's not with us. Signature King Tony Fett's supposed to be with us. Not here. But you're watching, and if you're watching on the rewind, thank you so much for tuning in. Who knows what? This could completely go off the rails today. But in our live chat, we have some folks joining us, starting with John's Comics with Kids. How are you doing? Hope that you've had a great weekend. And let's say meow to the Jackson Roy Kirk. Meow. Both of you are part of our show, and it's great to have you here tonight for another Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. So, in no particular order... Oh! Hey. Signature King.
I made it.
How are you?
Another wonderful day in the comic collecting community, that's for sure.
For sure. Did you have a good week?
Yeah. Did some con prepping.
Nice, because that's next weekend, right?
Yeah, it's this coming Saturday. So
yeah, nice.
Lots of decisions had to have been made, so lots of books. I got a pile of old bags here that I need to throw out because, I had just like, oh man, I really want to do something different. So these bags didn't make the cut, so they got to leave.
Okay. So they've been voted off the collecting table.
They have been voted off the island, essentially.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just greeted our chat, and we're kind of in the point to start talking about news. And in no particular order, I'll start out with, I'm sure that you remember the classic Batman cover number 251 with Joker holding Batman on the big playing card?
Yes.
That's going to be made into a statue.
Like a statue I can order? Or like a statue in like a museum?
No, like a statue that you can order. It should be approximately, it's like a 1/10 scale. So that would be about 7 inches. It's a resin statue based on that classic 1973 cover by Neil Adams. And it's McFarlane Toys is who's going to present that. And I think I've got a picture because they shared this on their social media. So that's kind of what it's looking like.
Yeah. I've got the Mike Mayhew.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me put you full screen there.
Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, because of the Harley.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yep. Let's say hello to Kenneth Bird, who's joined us. Hope that you've had a great weekend. And J Hood Comics is here. It's always awesome to see you.
Mr. Hood.
Yeah. So that's starting out our DC Comics news.
Yeah. And the next big one that came over the weekend was Josh Borland rejecting the role of Hal Jordan. So,
yeah, first it was kind of leaked that, he's going to be Hal Jordan, and now they're saying that he rejected the role and that they're actually having trouble finding someone.
I'll do it.
Yeah?
I'll do it. Call me, DC. Yo, I'm your guy. Sounds awesome. I'll do it for minimum wage.
Wow.
That'd be fun. Because I think the Green Lanterns TV show has potential to launch some good careers.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of like the James Gunn kind of thing. He brings a lot of lesser-known folks and puts them in the spot, like Polka Dot Man. Even the actor who played Polka Dot Man, can't remember his name, but he gets a lot of small parts. But But now he's getting big parts because he was really killed at his Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Give me the ring that actually works.
As one does.
That'd be my pay. You know what I mean? I'll just keep it. If this ring actually works, give me the power battery too. Be awesome.
Hey, Matthew stopped by to see us too, Matthew Poe. Hope that you're doing well. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh.
Yeah. Probably the biggest story from this past week, though, comic book creator John Cassidy passed away at the age of 52. Yeah. Mostly Marvel work, but I mean, there were some DC titles and stuff that he did work on too. Probably more associated with Marvel, though, but I did want to take a moment to acknowledge that.
Yeah, and he was slated for Baltimore this weekend.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so obviously he was on the cancel list. I just like, okay, people cancel all the time. I gave it no thought. So I started to see the news. And I'm going to say this in a selfish way, but I'm not saying it to be selfish. It's just cause and effect. So he died. Obviously, he had a lot of friends in the industry that were also attending Baltimore Comic Con. So you see that list of cancellations, it's huge.
I hadn't seen it, so
people are probably, with his family or attending some kind of service. Mm-hmm. So totally understand. I'm not mad for anybody who's canceled. I'm just saying a lot of people are canceling, including my favorite, Jerry Ordway is.
Jerry Ordway's great.
Yeah, Jerry Ordway's canceled. I imagine it's probably that on his X account. He said that he was still feeling a little ill from COVID. By all means, rest. I'd rather see you again some other time than never again at all. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's the news that directly affects me. Other than that, it was really slow.
Yeah. So today it came out. The character Warlord, who we've actually featured on Fanboys Live in the Retro Review before. Mike Rell, created the character Warlord. The 50th anniversary of that character is going on now, and DC will celebrate with 2 different omnibus volumes of Warlord set for release next year that will complete his original series, which that series ran 133 issues and launched in 1975.
Wow. Very nice. Mike Grell. Oh, man. I see him often.
Yeah?
I see him often. He must live around here. I see him at all the local cons, like even really tiny cons. I'm trying to think of who really gets me an autograph from. Man, there's going to be a lot of folks there. Jim Lee is up there. It's probably my bigger one that I'm going to. Gosh, without looking at my box, I don't even know. There's so many. There's so many I can't choose. Mark Waid, David Finch. This will be my first time meeting Joella Jones. Yeah, Joella Jones. Yeah, my first time meeting him. Josh Swaby. He does a lot of cover art. So, and I didn't realize how much I'm bringing. That's Josh Swaby covers. That just happened to be I was getting it for somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. I'd probably say the big one is Jim Lee, just because for some reason, like his event, like with Jeff Johns, it was like sign, and just keep the line moving, sign. But with the Jim Lee package, like it's way more personal. Like you get to meet him, you get to take a picture with him using your device. You get 8 autographs, which I think that's a lot. It's one day only, so
yeah.
I had to make sure to get my cool package, my Cool Kids Club package.
I hope that, and you don't have to say right now if you don't want to, but I really hope that Superman blank made the Jim Lee cut for an autograph, because I think that you need that on there. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I didn't even think of that. So now you put me in a pickle.
Put him in a pickle jar.
What do I do?
Put him in a pickle jar. I really think that you need that.
Con sketch and autograph, or having like kind of attendee before.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, the only problem with sketches is you got to order them way in advance. Like Jerry Ordway was taking orders for Baltimore like in March, and they're pretty expensive.
And now no one can pick them up.
I'm sure he's going to mail them out. I'm sure he's going to, but Yeah, you got to mail him the book. You got to pay the price up front. You got to get in line. And that's okay because that's how he makes his money. So I'm not mad. But sketches take absolute ages. That's my only problem with sketches.
I have an idea in store for what I'd love Jerry Ordway to do for me for a commission. I have no idea how much it would cost or anything, but I have the concept down of what I want.
If it's more than this, it's going to be about $1,000.
It's much more than that.
That's probably going to be a couple thousand.
Then that probably ain't going to happen because right now it's not in the budget. But, I did buy a Powerball ticket for tomorrow night, so by tomorrow night it could be in the budget.
I was going to say, all of a sudden you own all the conventions. You're doing all the sketches.
Mm-hmm. You never know.
Batman Day.
Batman Day is coming up on Saturday.
Yes. I'll be at the con for Batman Day. Maybe they haven't announced they're going to do anything special, but maybe they will.
You'll be at the BatCon?
I will be at the BatCon in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
The BullCon. Maybe they'll do some kind of like exclusive. I don't know. That'd be really fun. Shoot. Now I think about it, like, man, I didn't bring any Batman books for Jim Lee. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, man, that got me thinking. And I got these really cool. Check this out. Really cool. So you can see, I got the one of one exclusive.
Yes.
Comic book box made by children. I got the bags.
Oh, nice. Where did you find those at?
eBay. I had a gentleman selling.
Oh, you on evilbay? Okay.
evilbay, yeah, about $1 a bag.
Okay.
Not too bad. I even did it with your book.
Oh, thank you.
Just so it's easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not true. I did bring a Batman book originally, the foily. Yeah, I feel like this is just going to really help me speed things up because that's my problem with Baltimore. That list is so huge, and time is limited. So I gotta be booking it. I gotta be booking it. So yeah, already got a con sketch. Look at that. My kids attack it with a
Will
marker.
the box go with you?
Yeah, well, I'm bringing the whole box. Yeah,
okay.
The whole box. We bring my little wagon.
Okay.
So it's gonna be fun.
Nice. Anything else going on news-wise?
Not really, no. If we lived in, oh man, I can't even pronounce these cities. There are bat signals going up all over the world on September 21st.
Oh, that's cool.
If you live in Rio, Guangzhou, London, Sao Paulo, Turkey, Milan, Mumbai, and only one in the United States, New York, all they're going to light up the sky at night with Batman symbols.
Nice. Hello to our friend One Collection Down. OCD. One Collection Down.
So if you live in these cities, definitely let me know. I want to see what they look like.
Nice.
But that's it for news. That's all I really have.
Okay. Well, you pull up one of our books for the Retro Review. You picked it tonight. It's the Justice League Gods and Monsters. Tell us a little bit about this and your choice behind it.
I just remember the hype behind it, and it was an interesting concept. Basically, it's like an Elseworlds DC book. Well, this is multiversity, so technically this is what am I saying? This fits with the current realm of, I forget what Earth. Love of the Ground. Hey man. Yeah, and it got a Minnesota Vikings win, so it's extra purpley tonight. So very fun. But yeah, it's different iterations. It's Batman is an actual vampire. Superman lands in Mexico instead of Kansas, and Wonder Woman, I forget. She's an actual god, I think.
She comes from Apocalypse.
That's right. She comes from She's a new god.
Yep.
A new god.
And her name's Bekka.
Bekka.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, these stories might have been digital first and then were collected all together as a volume. That's how I think that went. And I didn't know in our story tonight, because there was like one published issue, but there were divided into 3 digital chapters that equaled one published issue. So I didn't know in what I was supposed to read or how far I was supposed to go. So I read all 3 chapters, and that's...
I just did one.
You only did one chapter?
Yeah, because it's one issue. I have the complete story for this. There's 3 issues for each
there
character.
are 3 issues. Okay.
3 issues for each character, and then there's 3 issues of Justice League, of them teaming up to do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be confusing. This is the way it was published. It also was a movie.
Yes, an animated movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to do tonight? Just go to the end of issue 1? Because I can this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we start out here, and the first several pages, there's no dialogue in it, but we are in India in July of 1962. And we see the ground shaking, the dogs are barking, they're starting to run. All of a sudden, there's a boom tube, and a woman pops out, scaring this guy to death. She turns around with her sword to try to defeat this obvious monster that has come through the boom tube after her. And she's able to throw this creature off course a little bit, but the creature is attacking back and grabbing a hold of her, obviously in pursuit of her, and she is a little bit scared. But then as she's able to kind of kick the monster back a little bit as the boom tube starts to close, and she's left rested on the ground. Not exactly, taking a moment to catch her breath and try to figure out what's going on. The innocent bystander that kind of experienced all of that walks over to her and checks on her, and she gets up in a moment, almost like she's going to defend herself, but then just kind of passes out from sheer exhaustion. And he reaches down with kindness to make sure that she's okay. And when she finally comes to, she hears gentle words in an unfamiliar language and is awakened in an unfamiliar place. She's trying to remember exactly what happened, but it kind of seems to slip away in a fevered haze. She knows that this woman that's helping her is kind, and wherever she's at, she knows that she's safe and in some kind of hands. Her fever starts to recede as time goes on, and her memory starts to return. She's Bekka of New Genesis, granddaughter of Highfather, but she doesn't know where she's at. And she's still not sure, and she says part of her almost kind of likes that, because apparently she's been through a lot. She barely escaped on Apocalypse, the boom tube carrying her with almost cruel randomness from world to world. And she says the simplicity of this life and of these gentle, decent people is like a soothing balm, healing wounds that I never even knew that I had. And then as more time passes, she grows stronger, and with strength comes a relentlessness that forces her out into this new world to really discover it. She looks across the field, glimpsing a strange figure hidden in the shadows. And for a moment, she thinks it's a monster that followed her through the tube and might want to try to slaughter her, but she realizes it's just a statue. It's a little small shrine, and this beast is no monster at all. She says the beast is a god. And as she gazes into those sad, wise eyes, although it's as if the god is speaking to her, telling her that there was a reason for the sentiment computer called the Mother Box, leading her across a dozen harsh worlds before carrying her to that place, that she was searching for this planet that would give her shelter, give her hope. Perhaps here the god seems to say, you'll find the golden age so long promised on New Genesis. And the goal was to try to make this maybe a home for her. And the Mother Box has really started to teach her about this place that she's at. It's the planet Earth. And she's learning about its history very quickly. And she does realize from what she's learning that this place isn't exactly a paradise, although it looks very beautiful. But there's been incredible achievements and incredible brutality and barbarity and high ideals and low savagery side by side with the human heart. And she says, I thought everyone on Earth was as kind as the couple who saved me, but quickly that notion got dispensed, but the very duality of the world calls to her, and she has no choice but to answer that. So she travels from overcrowded cities to isolated mountains, from places of breathtaking natural beauty to war-ravaged wastelands. She observes the flow of life with wonder and horror, never interfering in the events unfolding around her. And yet, as the months pass, an awful loneliness rise up like a wave inside of her, a need for companionship. And then there's something more. We can tell a little bit of time has passed right now, and that she's met someone that means something to her. And they're watching the news, and the news is talking about the new missile sites, and nuclear war, essentially, is the topic of the news right now, which, is the first time that the world has ever thought of something like nuclear war. And she's talking with this gentleman whom she cares very much for, and he basically says, hey, it's kiss your ass goodbye, here comes Armageddon. And she says, maybe I should take out Kennedy, and the Russian side too, but if I do, they'll only be replaced with more warmongering buffoons. And he's like, oh, you're drunk. And she's like, well, totally, but if we're going to die tonight, let's not do it alone. And they start to kiss, potentially inferring a romantic relationship with spaghetti sauce stirring. But he had the courage to make not just war but peace, and a year later he was dead. So much for peacemakers. And yet that brave and reckless man's murder reminded her of the dead that she left behind and filled her with an illogical hope. Perhaps she mused that it was time to get more directly involved in human affairs. And that takes us to Mississippi in June of 1964. And we see that some men have rounded up some other guys, and now we're kind of getting into civil rights and civil liberties here. And they're accusing them, all these guys were trying to do was register people to vote. And the guys that have held them captive don't like that and plan to take care of that. When Bekka appears in full costume, and, she threatens to break every bone in their body if they don't shut up. And they're not about to stand and take that from her. And, they warn her to stop what she's doing, put that down or there. And she says, oh, you're going to do what? And then they show her what they're going to do. And they use their guns and they mow down those poor individuals that they had taken captive. And she is shocked by what she just saw. And she says, I don't know what disgusted me more, their hideous violence or my own. And that was the end of the first issue, the first part of the story.
Nuts. What do you think of this version of Wonder Woman?
Oh, it's not Wonder Woman to me, but it's an interesting character.
Yeah, I guess it's an adoration of Wonder Woman. It's some Wonder Woman inspired versus actual Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they would have called her Diana, that would have been different, but... Yeah,
that's true. Okay, Batman, let's see, where's that? Right here. Okay, pop my screen up here. So this is, keep in mind, this is Batman kind of, like you've seen him before. So Batman here talks about, he's not quite Batman yet. He's still Bruce Wayne learning to become Batman, but he's already infected with a vampiric germ, so to speak. He's already a full-blown vampire. He's eating people and everything at this point. He's not Batman, though. And he's talking about, like, Gotham City, now that he's a vampire, is just worse because at night, like, people just straight up, like, don't go outside. So he has to, like, resort to, like, breaking and entering to fight bad guys, so to speak. And we find that here in this first panel where a husband is beating up his wife, accusing her of, being unfaithful and mocking him behind his back. He's kind of slamming her head against the wall, really, really doing some damage here. And then right as he's about to, like, really cause some harm to his wife, the voice of Bruce Wayne kind of chimes in. Believe it or not, I can smell you, actually. And they get confused and they turn and they see, and here's our first look at Bruce Wayne as an actual vampire. Not just the scent of your blood pulsing in your vein, but the scent of your own stupidity, your mindless brutality that drives you to abuse women whose only mistake is marrying you, he says to him. So he's like, yeah, straight up, like, we're going to tango and I'm going to feed on you, bro. So they're obviously scared. So Bruce Wayne eats this guy, and here's a great, I think his wife's kind of face kind of sums it up. No emotion whatsoever, just dead inside. So Bruce Wayne, of course, eats him, gobbles him up, And then she's mad, like, hey, you killed my husband. He's dead now. You did that. And he's like, well, Bruce Wayne's like, well, of course, he was beating you up. Like, you're welcome. You know, you don't have to do that anymore. So she stabs him, you know, logical response. And now he gets mad at her. Hey, this is the way you repay me? Like, I just saved you. You know what I mean? And this is the thanks I get. So he thinks about killing her, but he doesn't. She remains alive, but you know he doesn't like the person he's becoming. He's slowly feeling his descent into madness. He just goes and hops around Gotham from rooftop to rooftop, and he catches up with the Alfred Pennyworth of this world, and you know he's kind of like a slave at this point. He's not, what's the term for it they use? A familiar, a human like assistant, but like doesn't get paid. Just kind of does the stuff during the day that the vampire can't. Like this Alfred robs blood banks for the blood and not the money to help feed him, because Bruce wants to stay off the street as long as he can. So he robs blood banks and stuff like that. And we run into Selena Kyle and this other gentleman who I already forgot his name. But anyway, he's trying to have a human connection with them, and they're trying to find a cure. And his buddy is saying, you know, hey man, don't worry about it. You know, to hell with the old days, right? To hell with the old days. And he throws him through a window and says, to hell with you. You know, and then just kind of runs off. So this Bruce Wayne is completely unhinged, very unpredictable. You can see in his teeth, he's got like the vampire teeth here. And he's trying to find a cure for himself. He doesn't want to live like this. He knows there's a cure. So here he is in his lab, kind of mad at himself, mad at the situation he's in. He's kind of taking it out on himself. And here we have at the very end here, he's like, you know, a man. I'm not a man. I'm a thing. I'm a thing. I'm not a human. I'm a creature of the night. And you see, like, he's slowly starting to realize that he is Batman. And we don't get a full reveal of his costume in this issue, but if we zoom up to the top, you know, it's on the cover. So there it is. That's what Bruce Wayne is going to look like as Batman. And I encourage you to see the animated movie. It came out in 2015, I believe. And it was awesome. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Yeah. This is an interesting issue. Interesting storyline, interesting characters. Very fun.
So do you know what happens in the next two issues going beyond with yours?
I think I do. I'd have to skim through it, but I mean, I have an idea. But yeah, I think if our memory serves me correct, there's a point where all three characters cross, and they form a Justice League, or there's a situation that needs all their attention, and they become, you know, a weird Justice League, if I recall.
Did your story take place in the past, or was it in modern times?
Modern times, I believe.
Okay, because mine was in the past, and you know, even issues 2 and 3 were definitely, you know, 1960s, early 1970s.
Yeah. Well, okay. Wow. Looking at skimming through here, just briefly looking at issue 2 and 3. Maybe I'm mistaken. That's not quite what I recall.
Okay.
I won't spoil the ending, but it surprised me.
So mine kind of delves off in the second issue. It's kind of the hippie generation, and this version of Wonder Woman, you know, gets befriended by. Well, she meets this community of people that, you know, are a little bit drug induced on their own will. And one of the characters has, they have like little nicknames for everyone. Like there's a Suzie Sunshine, but one of the characters likes to call himself Dr. Psycho, which of course they're in the real Wonder Woman world is a real villain for Wonder Woman. So I thought that was interesting too. And then the third issue kind of delves more into that relationship within the commune, and what she kind of discovers isn't exactly what she thought she got into. And it was pretty interesting read though. So what are your thoughts on these stories that we retro reviewed tonight and some grades on them?
I really like this storyline. Just because it's really different. And I like I said, I encourage everyone to watch the animated movie. I think they'll really enjoy it. But it's hard to give it a grade because we're just barely scratching the surface. But I like them. 8 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, I'll go 8 out of 10 for what I did. Of course, I went, for my own reading, I went beyond just the first issue and finished it up. And like, I'd be curious to read the Justice League one with them combined and see what happens.
Yeah, even the Superman one is unique.
Sure, sure.
Very unique.
Let's say hello to Ruben Guzman, who has joined us. White Tiger, cool, calm, collected. It's always awesome to see you pop into the stream, my friend.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good story. Good story. Have you seen the animated movie?
I haven't. I'd be open to it, though.
Have you seen any, like, the trailers when it was coming out or when it was hyped?
No, not really.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of attention. Although on IGN, they went nuts for it for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't, like, a game release or anything. The movie came out, and then the comics came out, so... And then when James Gunn announced he was naming his universe Gods and Monsters, my mind went to these stories. Like,
sure,
is that kind of what we're going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's different. And he said it was going to be different, but no, not the same.
Good title, just not the same concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on with your channel? I guess we're having a short show tonight.
A short show. Well, I can show you my recent foil pickup.
Sure.
Here we have the Wonder Woman variant of this robot guy.
That's an absolute power variant, right?
Yes, absolute power. And every character so far has gotten their own variant, whatever, of their own absolute power issue. So this is just the recent one. I think the Flash version is one of my favorites. Yeah, there's the latest and greatest.
Nice.
Hoping Gun Universe is good. I think everybody is holding their breath. Holding their breath for sure. But yeah, coming on my channel, nothing but shorts, really. Shorts. Waiting for Baltimore Comic-Con to end so I can have content. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good year. Going to meet a lot of people at the con that I've never met before. I've already interacted with some people who are planning to attend next year.
Oh, nice.
And we haven't even finished this one.
yeah, exactly.
So it's a growing convention, and I'm glad to be part of it. I really am. So looking forward to this weekend.
Awesome.
And Friday night, I'm sorry, I forgot. Aeronauts Comics College of Comic Knowledge is hosting me as their attendee, and I will be representing my charity. A choice I chose is the U.S. Cavalry Association, and I will be talking about Shazam and the Shazam family.
Oh, nice.
Hoping to raise money for charity. So come on out. Jump on Joe's channel if you have the time. It's going to be a blast.
I bet it will. That's awesome.
Fun, yeah.
Cool. So on my channel, it's the same lineup as you've come to expect. My back issue of the week short that came out earlier this week was all about Barney and Betty Rubble, the favorite Bedrock neighbors, who had their own comic book published by Charlton. So that short is out there. I only had one Barney and Betty comic from my collection, so that was the easy one to choose when you only have one. And then I did a comic book editions 209 video that was an update to how my Justice League of America haul has been going, because working on volume 1 is a big goal for me. And then this past week I did another episode of JLA versus Avengers with John's Comics with Kids. And it had been tied before then. Avengers 1-2, Justice League 1-2, but then Justice League 1 on the tiebreaker. So they've won 3 so far out of the 5. So, and that was a lot of fun. And all of that you can find on my channel right now, including the JLA Avengers. That's archived in a playlist folder on my channel. Coming up this week, of course, tomorrow, there is a back issue of the week YouTube short. And as you mentioned, Batman Day is coming up Saturday. So my back issue of the week short will be Batman focused. And look for that to drop tomorrow morning. Tuesday afternoon, I have an A-OK to unbox from Mark Spector Comics. So there's some fun stuff in there. Yeah. He picked up something for me at Terrificon. He saw something at Terrificon and said, I think that Magic Lasso needs to have that. So he sent it over my way, and that's what I unbox on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, I got that something for you right here.
Oh, yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Guess we'll find out when I send your books to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on my channel. There's links to everybody's channel in the description for this video. I guess I should do a book show, too. I didn't really know what to do for a book show, so I just felt like showing this just because I love this cover. It's the facsimile, I keep wishing every day when I wake up that it has turned into the real one, but I still love it nonetheless. So Wonder Woman Volume 1.
What's that issue run, the real one?
Well, I mean, even in very low grade, I mean, 12,000.
Okay. So not like a Action Comics #1 or something. Okay.
No, but it's not her first appearance either.
Oh. Okay. Maybe I thought it was.
No.
Oh, Sensation Comics. Yeah.
No, it's actually All-Star Comics #8.
All-Star Comics #8.
She's in an insert. She's not actually part of the story. But All-Star Comics #8 is a preview for Sensation Comics #1, which is her first cover appearance. So, yeah. Like I said, I keep buying the Powerball in hopes to make that happen someday. I would say probably, if I had to think, the 5 most popular Wonder Woman comic books in terms of financial would be All-Star Comics #8, first appearance. Sensation Comics #1, second appearance, first cover. Probably Wonder Woman #1. Then I would probably say maybe Wonder Woman 98, which is considered first Silver Age Wonder Woman, and then Wonder Woman 105, which is considered scarce. So I have 2 of the 5.
I have none of the 5, so you're doing better than me.
Yeah.
Doing better than me. And you have a lot of other Wonder Woman memorabilia.
Sure do.
Going on the wall behind you at some point.
At some point, yeah. There's things like, even within arm's reach.
Awesome.
And still within arm's reach.
In the plastic.
For now. And there's plenty of, there's comic books to...
You just got books just like laying around. Oh, here's some books. Here's some books. What was it? One of the videos that I made probably like 2 years ago, dude, that would look awesome in your background. I can't remember what I was doing. I think it was like a haul video, or no, it was I was showing off what was in one of these cabinets or whatever, and I had found a Far Sector #1.
Oh, really?
You're wrapping paper.
Mm-hmm. It never wraps, though.
No. Yeah, I didn't realize I had a Far Sector #1, so I found one in my own collection.
Surprise, surprise.
I was. Even in the video, I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Far Sector #1. I don't care, but I got it.
Yeah, that's what counts. Nice.
Love it when that happens. Character you don't care about, all of a sudden you've got it.
Yep. Exactly. guess that brings us to the end of Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. I'm doing the pick for next week. I already know what it's going to be, so I'll give you an assignment in a moment, so you can work on that all week. And we look forward to seeing you next week for the show. One thing I want to say, if you have anything that you want to share with us as a book show, go ahead and do that on Instagram. Use the hashtag Fanboys Live and the Retro Review so we can make sure to see it. Maybe there's some other titles or issues or covers or something from our Retro Review tonight that you'd like to share, or generally anything DC that you want to share with us. Use that hashtag so we can make sure that we find it on Instagram. So, cool. But that will wrap up the greatest DC comic show on YouTube for this week, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Signature King, I hope that you have a successful and fun comic convention on Saturday, and give us all the details next week.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Everyone else, have a great week as well, and we'll catch you